Today on the Rotunda Show, presidential search forums wrapped up late last week. We'll give you an update on that ongoing process. Also, much progress is being made on the new Lancer Park bridges, and we'll give you more on the ongoing academics versus education debate. Plus, a look at This Week in Sports headed your way right now. Hello and welcome to this latest edition of the Rotunda Show, the first of this spring semester. I'm Max Duchesne. We begin tonight with an update to the ongoing presidential search process. Last week, the two remaining finalists appeared at Blackwell Hall in the final two presidential search forums before the big decision will be made later this year. Last Tuesday, Dr. Emily Formey-Cottrell, the current provost and vice president for academic affairs at California State University, San Marcos, addressed the university and answered questions from faculty and students. Such hot-button issues to arise in the forum were that of class size, fundraising, and the future of Division I athletics here at Longwood. Cottrell, who has experience with larger and newer schools, says she would like to work with the Board of Visitors to bring Longwood to its fullest potential. Brigadier General Patrick Finnegan, the current dean of the academic board at the United States Military Academy West Point, appeared at the forum on Thursday. As you may already know, administrators have been up in arms for some time about the current allocation of monies in the comprehensive fee that is included in every student's tuition. Representatives from both the academic and athletic departments have voiced their opinions on the issue. For more on the matter, here's Avriel Suleiman.
In October of 2009, Dr. Brian Bates, Director of Archaeology at Longwood University, proposed a plan that he says will help combat the monetary deficit that Longwood may face in years to come. But with the plan also comes a setback for Longwood's Division I athletic status.
Our university budget is set up in two broad categories. You have what's called the E&G, or Education in General. That's our operating budget. That's what tuition dollars go to. That pays for classrooms, faculty, programs, that sort of stuff. Then students pay the comprehensive fee, which goes to all non-education and general expenditures. It goes to things like the student union, it goes to athletics, all kinds of different things go into that arena.
The Bates proposal wants to take money from the largest chunk of that comprehensive fee, which is athletics, and put that money into the academic side. The athletic department is worried that with this money being taken away, Longwood will no longer be a Division I school.
If we were to drop down to, say, Division III, which is what came up in it originally, that the scholarship money would go away. Well, that scholarship money is kind of like a trickle-down effect. It's money that goes into the university's budget, about $2.1 million. That $2.1 million is hard cash in the university's budget.
The proposal generated a lot of conversation among the student body. The Rotunda wrote articles and students made Facebook groups for or against it.
The fact that faculty, staff, and students want to make sure that the university's priorities rely with academics. They're concerned about the budget cuts. They're concerned about the rise of tuition. So they want to make sure, I think at the end of the day, students, they want to see their tuition stay within a reasonable rate.
While the proposal is still being debated on, the SGA would like your opinion. They'll be posting a poll on Blackboard sometime this week. This has been Avriel Suleiman for the Rotunda Show.
Residents in Lancer Park will soon be able to cross 3rd Street without playing in traffic, making their everyday commute not only safer, but quicker as well. Here's Megan Kozik with the story.
Early in the morning on December 10, 2009, Longwood's Real Estate Foundation secured the first piece of the Bridges at Lancer Park project.
Basically, there's two bridges that will be linked together by a walking path between the two that will ultimately get you from Grove Street, which is on the south side of West 3rd, all the way to Lancer Park, which is on the north side of West 3rd.
Since Lancer Park students are required to either walk or take the FAB, Angela Jackson, Associate Director of Off-Campus Living, considers this bridge a necessity not only for efficiency, but for student safety as well.
When people are walking up the hill with Gray Street, it's not really that wide, so like cars are coming down, cars are going up, cars are parked, and then people are trying to like walk all in between, you know. I think once the vehicular bridge gets there, it will really help a lot.
Like it would definitely make things more convenient to have the bridge rather than having to like walk up the big hill or like around Buffalo Shook, which can be kind of dangerous with the cars and stuff.
Copeland says that the total cost for this project is just over $4 million, but explained that all that money came from the Real Estate Foundation's assets.
When the Real Estate Foundation purchased Lancer Park and we built Longwood Landings, and then we subsequently purchased the Longwood Village apartments, we did a refinance on all of those. We were able to carve out the majority of that $4 million in that bond issue, so there's no additional money that the students or the university or anybody's having to put in the pot to get this thing built.
Copeland also said that this bridge will not only benefit Lancer Park residents, but it will also benefit the town of Farmville as well as students living on the main campus.
It's better for vehicles. It's certainly better for the 3 businesses that are in that Appomattox Street area. And we're taking the pedestrians on the walking path, the Rails to Trail State Park. We're not putting as much obstacle in their way. The other thing that's important to remember is that we've just spent a fairly sizable amount of money building recreation fields for intramurals. So it's not just the students that live in Lancer Park that are going to be using this walking path. It's students that live on main campus that are participating in intramural sports.
Right now, only the pedestrian bridge is in place and there's a long way to go. However, Copeland did say he'd like to complete the entire project by May of 2010. He did stress, however, that weather would be the biggest enemy in getting this project completed on time. I'm Megan Kozik for The Rotunda Show.
We end this edition with a look at this week's happenings in Lancer sports. Here's Will Armbruster with your sports report.
Willett Hall was the setting for the men and women's basketball home games last week. The ladies got things started hosting a pink out, while the men's game on Thursday was flooded with a sea of blue. The women's game took place on Wednesday, and the ladies edged out a solid Troy team out of the Sun Belt Conference. The Lady Lancers came out with a tightly contested 76-70 victory, led by sophomore Brittany Billups' career-high 25 points. The ladies built a 20-point lead in the first half with pressure defense that caused 15 turnovers, but the Trojans came back to tie the game midway through the second half. However, deadly shooting from the free throw stripe sealed the victory for Coach Caruso and her squad. As for the men, Coach Gillian said he would have liked to see his team pull away early, but NAIA opponent Virginia Intermont hung close, and the Lancers led by only 13 at intermission. The second half was a different story, however, as the Lancers came out firing and stretched the margin to 20 just 5 minutes into the half. With 5 minutes left to play, the lead was 32, and when the buzzer sounded, the Lancers came out with an impressive 101-66 victory. Redshirt senior Dana Smith posted a career-high 27 points and pulled down 13 rebounds for his 8th double-double of the season. Sophomore big man Antoine Carter also posted a double-double, his 7th of this year's campaign, going for 17 points while grabbing a game-high 15 rebounds as well. Last week, Longwood University's men and women's basketball team both came out victorious in convincing fashion over their visiting opponents. However, the women were also fighting in support of breast cancer, an effort in which they raised roughly $200. From Willett Hall, I'm Will Armbruster.
That ends this edition of The Rotunda Show. Be sure to check out this week's issue of The Rotunda, located all around campus or online at www.therotundaonline.com. Also, find us on Facebook and Twitter. We would love to hear from you. For all of us here at The Rotunda Show, I'm Max Duchesne. Take it easy, everyone.